friends, Mama Fox here. In today's video, I'm going to give you some basic tips on how families can save money. Because I know in this economy, every family out there is trying to think of little tips to save a little bit of money, and hopefully these tips can help you. Now, but even without the economy being the way it is, I think it's good for families to have these certain money saving tips because, hey, anyone can stand to save a little money, can't they? Especially if you have kids. But one of the bigger money saving tips I have is to buy baby clothes on a clearance. Now, I know a lot of moms say they only buy used baby clothes, and yes, that is one way to save money. But honestly, that is just the tip of the iceberg because I have found that a lot of stores will have clearance racks, and on these clearance racks, you can actually find clothes that are cheaper than Salvation Army. For example, the last week I was at Old Navy and I checked their clearance rack, and I literally got my daughter clothes for the spring for 97 cents. In fact, one of the shirts I found was 47 cents. So yes, that is one of the biggest tips I have, is always look at clearance racks. Look at stores like Old Navy has good clearances. Target has pretty good clearances. Honestly, Target used to have slightly better clearances than they do now for clothes, but yes, you can still find pretty cheap baby clothes on the Target clearance section. And yes, I also do shop a lot of used baby clothes sales as well. Like I know in my area, but twice a year, but they have this one a particular large used baby sale, and I always go to that and kind of stock up on things I know my daughter's going to need for the upcoming season. And yes, like another tip with the baby clothes is there is really no point in buying any kind of name brand anything because your son or daughter is not going to know what a name brand is. They just want to be clothed and they want to be warm. That's about it. And now last winter, I actually found a winter jacket for my daughter at the Burlington Coat Factory. The Burlington Coat Factory also has a lot of good sales. But that's another a tip I have is to but check those closeout stores like Burlington, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. You can get some really, really good deals there that are actually kind of comparable to buying clothes used. But like I said, I like used baby clothes, but that can just kind of be the tip of the iceberg. Like another money saving tip I have is to look at all of your streaming services. Now, I used to have a streaming service called Paramount Plus, but I realized the main thing that we were watching was the Blues Clues for my daughter. So I canceled Paramount Plus, and I just bought a Blues Clues DVD off of Amazon. Now I know a lot of babies like the CoComelon, which is on Netflix or Hulu. But again, if the only reason you have these streaming services is so your kid can watch CoComelon, but just buy a DVD off of YouTube, or better yet, a lot of these shows like CoComelon or Blues Clues, they have YouTube channels where you can literally watch clips for free. Like in fact, CoComelon, last I checked, was the most subscribed to channel on YouTube. So yes, a lot of parents are doing this. And yeah, but I remember when I was growing up, but my favorite thing to watch was the Mary Poppins. And yeah, my mom just bought the VHS once, and that was it. It wasn't like a monthly subscription. She just bought the VHS tape outright, and I just would watch that every single day. But now it seems like everything now is a monthly but subscription, so you should really keep an eye on those and make sure that the subscriptions you have are for things that you would actually need. Now, if you watch other things on Hulu or on Netflix, that's absolutely fine. But if you're only subscribing to these services so your kid can watch things like Blue's Clues or CoComelon, you don't really need to do that. But another huge money-saving tip I have, it's not just for families, it's for basically anyone, it's to have a track phone instead of an iPhone or the fucking other service kind of cell phone. Because but with track phone, you just buy minutes as needed, you buy text messages as needed, and you buy data as needed. You but don't get a monthly bill for maybe minutes or text messages that you didn't actually use. Like, you know, a lot of cell phone plans are unlimited, but if you're not really a huge talker on the cell phone, you really could get by with just a track phone or a Boost Mobile or any other kind of cell phone service that allows you to just buy minutes and text messages as needed. Now, actually bought my phone off of QVC, and but when I bought it off of QVC, it actually came with 1,500 minutes, 1,500 text messages, and I think a gig of data and a year's worth of service. Now that is an amazing value. Now someone like my mom, she also has a track phone. She doesn't really maybe use it quite as much as a younger person would, but yeah, that's really all she needs. And honestly, those 1,500 minutes, 1,500 text messages, but that can easily get me through a couple of months, because honestly, most of what I send out are just text messages. And yeah, I'm semi-popular, but but it takes me a while to go through those 1,500 text messages. And once those text messages are used up, I just buy more text messages on the Track Phone app. It's very simple and very, very inexpensive. And but finally, another money-saving tip that I have actually learned in the past month is to turn stuff off. But now I know, but this isn't a huge money-saving tip. We all know to turn stuff off, like lights and such. But I think after you have a baby, you start getting very, very lazy. Now my guess is right now, your baby monitor is on, your sound machine might be in the on position, but your baby's nightlight is probably on. Honestly, if you go around your house right now, you can probably find many, many things that have been left in the on position that are just draining out power. Now, last month I started turning off stuff like her baby monitor during the day and her nightlight, and I started really like monitoring how many times I kept stuff on. And you know, honestly, in 1 month, our electrical bill dropped by about $15. So yeah, I definitely think but that's a very easy thing that any family can do to get a little bit of money in their pocket at the end of the month. And yes, but those are my main money saving tips for this video. If I can easily make a lot of videos about budget and how to save money. So if this is a video that you like, just click like and subscribe, and I'll keep making more of this kind of content. Well, thank you. I'll see you next time.